Okay, so we are recording, and I just want to thank all of you guys for coming on here tonight and showing up to talk incentive. I am Chastity Robinson, your Superstar Director. If you did not know that or know who I am, I am going to first just open it up to a few people that I've asked already to kind of speak on belief and about earning incentive trips, and then I'm probably just going to call some people out, and I'm just going to have them talk for like 2 minutes to just kind of tell their part of it. Okay, so Cameron, do you want to go first?
So, hey everybody, I'm Cameron. I'm a STAR consultant with Bailey's Group, and this will be my technically my third incentive that I'm working towards earning. I received level 2 in the fall incentive last year, and then level 1 in the growth incentive this spring. And I just want to say that incentive gives me the opportunity to put me where I want to be at in this company. So bunker down, put your heads into it, and hopefully we'll all be in some wonderful location next spring doing all of the things on Cincy's dime. So I am too excited to be in this and just willing to watch what everybody else is doing to earn that incentive. So get it and let's do it. Thanks, Chas.
Of course. And I just want to say something really quick about Cameron. I met Cameron for the very first time. Maybe I had met you before Austin.
Nope. Austin was the
okay. So that's what I thought. And Cameron literally, when did you join, Cameron?
I joined in May of last year.
That's what I thought. And so Cameron has he hit the ground running when he joined. And Bailey's talking to everybody about going to reunion. He's like, well, then I'm there. And I mean, Cameron showed up in Austin like he had been with Cincy for the last 10 years. And his energy is just so contagious. And I just fell so much in love with him because he's just everything that Cincy is about. Just happy and positive and shows up and does things out of his comfort zone, and he's not scared to go and talk to anybody. So if there's somebody in the Cincy world that you want to meet but you're scared to go talk to them, align yourself with Cameron because he will walk up to a wall and start talking to them. Yes.
Real.
And so Cameron's just such a light in our group, and I just really wanted him to talk because he had joined so soon and earned a trip and showed up at reunion, and he's just somebody definitely to follow. Thank you, Cameron.
I hate that I don't get to go, that we're not doing reunion this year because that was my trip that I'd earned.
I know. But you know what? We're keeping everybody safe, and next year it's just going to be like a complete bash because everybody's going to have been so long without seeing each other.
Yep.
All right. Jen Gray, will you talk to us, please?
So I joined Cincy in February of 2017 with no intentions of growing a team at all. Didn't want to do anything except for sell for myself and prove to myself that I could do this. And instantly went to reunion that summer in Kansas City. We found out that it was the Mediterranean Cruise incentive, and pretty much it was just me on a team. And that incentive started in August. I had nobody. But I got 2 people to join. I guess in September there was a join kit, and I promoted to lead and then star, and I earned level 2 of that incentive and ended up going on the 7-day Mediterranean cruise. So I will say that anybody just starting out, this is so possible for you, and it's almost easier because you're just starting out, so you can just start building your team. And as long as you have don't forget about your own business too and your own PRV, but if you're building your team and starting out and promoting, you have every opportunity to earn an incentive. And I will say that trip was so it was just an awesome experience, and Cincy, it just really spoils you, and they make it just so much fun, and you bond with other people too. I think that was the big thing for me as the reason that I want to go. Yes, you see your family members and whoever you bring, but you get to see all these people and bond with them, even reunions too. Cameron saw me on the plane, and I was like, I don't even know who that is at first. I was like, I don't know who this is. And like Chrissy, I see her on here. We roomed together that time. And so now it's just, you build these connections and it's just incredible. So don't be afraid if you're just starting out to try to work for this. It's really doable for anybody.
Thank you for that. And yeah, like the one thing that I can say about Jen is her and I did another direct sales together before both of us joined Scentsy. And I never tried to get Jen to come over to the Scentsy side. Like she was buying for me, whatever. And she just decided to join. And she's like, I'm just going to buy for myself, blah, blah, blah. And then she really saw how Scentsy had changed me. And I'm like, look, you need to go to Reunion. Like when you go to Reunion, it's going to change your business. It's going to change your outlook on stuff. Like just go. And then when they announced that cruise, I mean, I could see it like light up her face that was something that she really, really wanted. And it just it makes me so emotional when my people earn these trips, because when I first joined, I was the only one. And I couldn't wait for the day where I was like Chloe and had all of these people within my group going. And I just want that for you guys, because I know how much a family vacation costs. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a teacher, so I can't afford to go on vacation like that. Literally, Scentsy is the only thing that pays for me to go on vacation. So I just want you guys to know that it's possible. Blair, do you want to talk?
Okay. All right. I'm hoping that my hotspot will hold off for this Zoom. But the first thing I want to say is I'm Blair. I am Star Director for Team Covered by Grace. And my first incentive that I earned was in 2016 to Punta Cana. I joined in June 2016, and I had earned that trip for 2 people by November. And this was just kind of going into it like I had no sales background. I had never really used Scentsy. But I am super competitive, and I knew that I love to do all the things and travel and try to just get the most out of life. So I really wanted this trip. And then I think the following year, I also earned the trip for 2 people to Europe, the Mediterranean cruise. And then I earned the trip to Cancun. I earned the trip to Marco Island. And one thing that I will say about incentives is do not look at an incentive and think that you can't earn it, or you're not worthy of earning it, or you don't have the skills to earn it, because everybody has like the same opportunity. And I honestly think that like new people have the best opportunity, just because there's just so many points that new people can get that like I can't get, like promoting to certified and lead and star. But that is like my biggest takeaway from that is like, don't ever look at something and think that you can't do it, because you can. You just have to decide if you want it or not. And you can't wait until October, November to say, okay, well, I think I might try to do this. Like you have to do it right now. You have to start right now. It does come with hard work, but it is so attainable. You can do it. And once you go on a trip, you're never going to want to miss one. I have like fully enjoyed every Scentsy trip that I have ever gone on. So, and I have made the best of friends. Literally some of my best friends I only get to see on these trips. So it just warms my heart a lot to be able to go. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Anybody else want to talk? Directors, anybody? Anything y'all want to say in the beginning? Y'all can obviously unmute yourselves and talk at the end or whatever, but I just really wanted other people to hear.
I'll say something.
Let's go, girl.
Okay, so hi y'all, I'm Chrissy. This is Addie. And anyway, so I joined in January of 2017. And stop putting stickers on me. Anyway, I saw Blair go to Punta Cana, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks fun. And Mike's like, you should join so you can earn us some free trips. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not earning any free trips. But then the next year I earned the one to the cruise. I didn't get to go on it because life happens, and I had like a itty bitty baby. But I did go to Reunion that year in Disney, and it was amazing. I stayed with Jen and Blair, and I had never met Jen before, but I was like, oh, she's really awesome. And we got to spend like a whole week together. And so you get to meet amazing people through this business. And I tell people all the time, it's not about like the money. The money's good, but the people that you meet on these trips and the relationships that you build through this business are relationships that last a lifetime. Last summer, I went to Marco Island, and it was hands down the most amazing thing. And I'm so excited about this next incentive because Cincy spoils you like a ton on these trips. Like you go and Mike's like, well, you're going to need this and da 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 da. What about this? And I'm like, nope. No, I don't need this because they're taking care of our food. He's like, oh, well, you need money for this. And I'm like, no, they're going to like take me from the airport to the hotel. They've got all this covered. He's like, you don't have to do anything. I was like, I just got to show up. I got to pack a bag and show up. And like Chastity said, I'm a teacher also. And I couldn't do all the things that I did on a teacher's salary. They spoil us so good. It is completely worth it, and I don't want to miss another one. It's just completely amazing. And I'm excited because this next one I'll be able to earn for like my whole family. Say hi, Addie.
Hi.
Yep, I can bring her. And I'm just so stinking excited. So it's just wonderful. And so, oh, did y'all hear that? I don't know if y'all heard that. Say it again.
Cincy is the best. It's not stinking.
It's not.
You're funny.
Anyway, she's something. So, okay, that's all. It's just really, really awesome. And I hope that everybody on here, like, just puts in the work and we can all go and it'll be amazing.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you so much, Chrissy. Anybody else want to talk? Or you want to get started? All right, let's get started. And anybody else that wants to chat, you guys can absolutely open that up. And the one thing I'll say about all of these people that have talked, like, we do make the best memories. We have the best and embarrassing stories about each other, but it's literally the best time of my life. So I want all of you guys to be there with us. And if you make a plan, every single one of you guys can be there. We're all going to be there. We're all going to claim it. And I want you guys there with us. So the first thing that you guys need to know is all of the different levels. So there's levels 1 through levels 6. Level 1, make sure that, I don't know why this is like, okay, make sure y'all mute yourselves. I have it set to where it's going to mute people on entry, but for some reason, it's like being crazy. Okay, so there's levels 1 through 6. Level 1 is obviously just getting yourself, and then it goes all the way up until level 6. So for me, I have a family of 4, and then I have 2 additional spots. So your girl is gonna earn for 6, so I can take my in-laws with me because they do so much for me. And even though we don't know where that trip is gonna be yet, I can promise you, you wanna be there. I can promise you. It doesn't matter. You cannot wait until the end of this month when they announce where the trip is going to be for you to decide to get to work because you've already let a month go by. Don't do it. You should have started on the 1st because guess what? This was a surprise to most people in Cincy land because incentives normally start or typically have started August 1st and we have 6 months. So you have until now, until December 31st, and we've got to get going. Okay? So the biggest thing to pay attention to when it comes to the different levels is that there is an amount of points that you have to earn. However, some of those points have to come from sponsoring. Okay, so for level 1, you have to have 20,000 points, but 4,600 of those points have to come from sponsoring. I'm trying to make myself spotlighted. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So 4,600 of those points have to come from sponsoring points. So the way that you get sponsoring points is by sponsoring. Okay. But you do not get sponsoring points just for someone joining your team. You get sponsoring points by helping them be successful. One second. Sorry. My husband came in here and started messing with all my papers, and now I don't know where my stuff is. Okay, anyway, so what you guys need to realize is you need to make a plan and write down all of those people that you have already sponsored that have not hit certified. That's the first thing that I would do, is write down all of those people. I already have all of these people written down that have joined that have not yet certified. Okay, so that is the first thing that I would do, because all of those people, since he has given us the opportunity to help them and to help you. So not only do you get 250 points when they certify, that new team member gets 1,000 points. They get 1,000 points for doing that. Okay, so all of those people need to be on your list, right? And then you can also earn 1,000 points when they promote to lead and 1,000 points when they promote to star. But as you guys know, these things are not going to happen on accident. It has to be intentional, okay? But you also can't just look at these people as incentive points. You need to be looking at these people as people and helping them get to their goals. Because not only are you helping them build their business, they're helping you earn your incentive, but you're helping them earn the incentive, because they're going to get points every time they promote as well. Okay, the big thing to know about those sponsoring points is that it doesn't matter if you have 50,000 points. If you don't have 4,600 sponsoring points, you don't earn any level of the incentive. You just don't. And the reason why Cincy has done that is because there are crazy people in the world who will go and spend and get 50,000 PRV and go on these trips, but they're not sponsoring. And Cincy wants to reward us for behaviors they want repeated. And they want more people in this business and more people being blessed. Okay? So, in theory, anybody who has already joined your team, that is 2,250 potential points. Okay? Anybody that's brand new, that is a potential of 3,000 points, because you can get 1,000 for them certifying, 1,000 for them promoting to lead, and 1,000 for them promoting to star. That new teammate, though, cannot do any of those promotions without being trained effectively, without sponsoring as well, without working their business appropriately. So I see it happen every single incentive period. There are people who are on the last day of the month searching for sponsoring points because they didn't work the entire incentive period. Or they'll say, okay, well, I need 4,600 sponsoring points, and they put all of their money on 3 people. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. I sponsored 6 people the last time we had a join special, like the $20 join special, and only 3 of those people have certified as of now. And that was like 4 months ago. So you can't put your money on a specific person, because people are going to join for different reasons. Okay. So you always have to be sponsoring. That doesn't mean you stop sponsoring because you sponsored 3 people and you feel like, okay, you can get all 3 of those to certified and you'll have your 4,000 points and one of them will promote to lead. You have to work intentionally. And the best way to do that is to start today and make a plan for any of the people that have already joined you. And then you guys know I've already been talking about sponsoring, Dream Team, etc. Does anybody have any questions about the sponsoring points? No question is stupid. Please post it in the chat box. I know that there's so many new people. Where that other paper is, and it's driving me crazy. Anybody? Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is the PRV points. Okay, so PRV is PRV. You get 1 point per PRV. That's pretty simple, right? Now, this is something I see every single incentive period too. Every single incentive period. There is 2,500 points up for grabs. Okay, PRV consistency. But to get those points, you have to have 1,000 PRV in 5 out of 6 months. Okay, that doesn't mean consecutive, but this is what it means. If you don't have 1,000 PRV in July this month, then you have no choice but to get 1,000 PRV for the rest of the incentive period. Because if not, you're leaving 2,500 points on the table for the rest of the time. Don't be that person. Don't set yourself up for that in August when we have a discontinuing catalog, people. When we have tons of stuff that is going away, do not set yourself up for leaving 2,500 points on the table because you have zero choice but to sell 1,000 for the rest of the time. Because what happens in December and something crazy happens and you're only at 600 PRV and it's Christmas. You don't have the money to go spend $400 in PRV to get over 1,000. So don't set yourself up for failure. You need to set your PRV goals high because there's no cap on that. You can sell as much PRV as you want. And that's up to you. So I'm going to be setting high PRV goals because number 1, I'm going to earn annual sales because I'm not leaving $1,000 on the table. Number 2, I've got an incentive to earn. Number 3, high PRV is going to bring me recruits because I'm going to be meeting more people. So you should always be front loading, exactly what Jen was talking about. December, she says that December is always her roughest month. December can be a little hard just because there's a shipping cutoff for deliveries in time for Christmas. So you, as a business owner, you should always be forward thinking. So you need to make sure you are setting yourself up for success instead of saying you know where your 500 is going to come from. For the rest of this incentive, Chastity's going to be asking, do you know where your 1,000 is coming from? And directors, I encourage you guys to do the same thing in asking your team, do you know where your 1,000 is coming from? Because you don't want to set yourself up to put yourself in that box, okay? So PRV and PRV consistency, all right? The next thing I want to talk about is the activity / paid at rank. So it is the activity bonus. And I am going to open up the points because I don't know those off the top of my head. So this is something not new, but Scentsy used to only give us points for being paid at title. And that's something that we really talk about a lot in having a strong business. And I still fully believe that every single person needs to be striving for being paid at title. However, we know that it doesn't always work out that way. So when you're looking at your tracker and it says activity bonus, that means when you are let's say I'm a superstar director, but let's say for some reason I'm only getting paid as a director, I'm going to earn 1,000 points for that month. And so that makes it to where, no, I'm not going to be earning the superstar director activity points, but as long as I'm paid as a director, I'll earn those points. So for instance, if you're a star consultant, but you haven't been getting paid as a star consultant, maybe people canceled or your team volume hasn't been where it needs to be, but you do have the numbers for a lead, then you're going to earn the 100 points. Okay. And that's every single month, but they're not like stacking on top of each other. So if you are a director, the most that you can earn is 1,000. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. The next one I'm going to talk about is promotions. This is what people that have been with Cincy for a long time are talking about, where we're talking like new people have a better opportunity. Because for me, I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. So for me, I have already promoted to superstar director. So these 10,000 points, I have no way of earning those. Okay. So all of these bonuses that brand new consultants have the opportunity to earn, I don't have that opportunity. So where we're talking about your brand new consultant, even if they joined last month, that's 1,000 points that they can get right there. When you promote to lead, you're going to get 1,500. When you promote to star, you're going to get 2,000. When you promote to superstar, you're going to get 3,000, etc. So for those of us that have promoted outside of an incentive period, we're missing out on all these points, but we're not going to be making excuses for that. We're going to make up those points somewhere else. Does that make sense? Okay. Please ask any questions that you guys have in the chat box. I promise there's no question that's stupid. We've all kind of like looked at this and been like, what does this mean, etc. All right. And then the last section is the grow with the flow. So the grow with the flow points, if you earned any of the levels, you'll know exactly how many points you got. You got 500 for level 1, 1,500 for level 2, 3,000 for level 3. Now those points are split between sponsoring and PRV. So for instance, I earned level 3, so I earned 3,000 points, right? But luckily, 1,500 of that is going to go towards sponsoring. Okay. And then this is where a lot of people, like I saw the question from Candace, a lot of people get confused. So they're like, let's say for 1, 2, 3, level 5, what she was asking, 79,000 points and at least 11 in sponsoring. So what that means is 79,000 total, and 11,000 of that has to come from sponsoring. But all of your points go into one bucket. So for instance, you may have 30,000 points, but if you don't have 4,600 in sponsoring, you're not going to earn level 1. Okay, so Samantha's asking for a breakdown of level 1. Absolutely. So for level 1, you have to have 20,000 total points. Okay. If you guys look at your workstation, let me share my screen again. If you look down here at your workstation, let's say you are a certified consultant, it has done a breakdown for you already. Now, you don't have to follow this. This is just like minimal. So if you do 1,000 or 1,500 in your heavier months, your PRV consistency, you sponsor to lead, you sponsor to star, you personally promoted, lead paid at rank, star paid at rank. So this would be what your points would add up to. So the reason why I have, let me open up my tracker real quick. Sorry, y'all. So the reason why I break my trackers down the way that I do, because what I do is I plan mine out so you guys can see this. So what I've done is I've written down all of my I can't even focus. All of my people that have already joined, I wrote them down here. And then what I did was I crossed them out under the 1,000 because I know that I can't earn 1,000 points for them. So that's not even an option. Okay. But then that consultant, I can help them get to lead and to star. But then my brand new people, I'm going to list underneath here too. I'm going to mark out 250 and I'm going to get them to certified and write down my 1,000. So what I'm going to do, or what I've already started to do, is made a plan for how I'm going to earn all of those points. And you can play around with it, but I'm just going to say, yes, Hope, 750 will go to sponsoring. So nobody has any points when they started. Everybody started at 0 starting July 1. So you don't, like, nothing counts like starting July 1. Everybody starts over. So for instance, I have some reinstatements that came back. Like I have a girl named Rebecca that just reinstated. Reinstatements count for this incentive if they never certified. It's in the FAQ. So I know I can earn 250 points for her once I get her to certified. So July, August, September, October, November, and then the end of December. That's a really great question, Jen. We have asked why we don't get points for promoting superstar and promotions like downline or frontline promotions to director, and we didn't really get an answer. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, it was like that the last incentive too. So let me just go ahead and say this. Talking points, everyone usually gets very overwhelmed. And that's why at the beginning of this call, I had everybody talk, those people at the beginning talk about belief and talk about how they can earn this incentive. Because let me tell you that when I joined on like July 26th of 2015, and it was a Disney World trip, and it was a family trip, and it was tiered exactly like this. There were some other places points were coming from. I think you got points for a couple of different things, but the way that this is set up is better than what I had done. And like I said, I joined in July. I didn't sell anything in July because I waited until August 1st to put in my order. So I hit Shooting Star. And I guess Chloe probably told me to wait till August 1st because that's when the incentive started too. And by October, I'd already earned for 1. So in 2 months, because I sponsored, I sold, I was excited, I shared the opportunity, like it is 110% doable. When you see 20,000 points, you're like, I can never do that. Well, if you start that today, then you're right. But I'm looking at 11,000 is the minimum for sponsoring for level 3 and above. So I'm going to be having all of the sponsoring points. Right, Jessica. So you don't have to promote. So let's say that is a good points. So, but this, I don't want to overwhelm some of you guys. So what I would do, let's say I don't think that anybody should only be shooting for level 1, period. You shouldn't. At a minimum, you should be shooting for level 3, because you should be able to take your husband and a friend, or your spouse and a friend, or whatever. So I think at a minimum, everybody should be shooting for level 3. I'm shooting for level 6 because your girls go hard or go home. And I know the rest of my directors are doing the exact same thing, because we're trying to take all the people on these trips. It's a family trip. And the family trip that I went on to Disney World, let me tell you that your girl from Grace Creek wouldn't have paid for the place that we stayed at. It was real bougie and real fancy. And guys, they shut down MGM, or whatever it's called now. Literally, only Scentsy consultants were in there. That's it. We got to ride all of the rides with no lines. We had our private show of, I want to say Fantasia, but that's not what it is. Fantasmic, like a private Indiana Jones show. Like it's insane. So there will also be some more breakdowns that are going to be coming along. But think about it this way. If you are wanting to earn level 3, divide it into 6 months, divide it by 6, and that's going to give you an average of what you need to do. But that's why I have these trackers, because you need to plan it out. So for me, I'm planning out what my paid at rank is going to be. I'm planning out that I'm going to have that PRV consistency. I'm planning out that I need to sponsor 6 people and get them to certified by September for me to feel a little bit better, or whatever. So it's just super, super important that you start sponsoring now, and you start sponsoring heavy, and you're offering that opportunity to everyone, and you're front loading for the fall, because this is all up to how much hard work that you guys put into it. I know that it's a lot to take in with all of the different points. There will be a tracker that comes up just like Grow with the Flow. But like I was saying, you can't wait to the end of this month. You can't. You have to start now. That's why I made this tracker, because this was the tracker that I like to use. So I've shared, and I'll share my screen again here in just a second. I have shared with you guys the folder that other people have created. So this one right here, this is probably going to be a little bit better for people that have never done an incentive. You may like this a little bit better. So this trip planner thing, it lays out your levels at the top. It tells you the minimum number of points. It tells you the minimum number from sponsoring. And this was made by somebody, and this is just kind of what they're saying your focus should be: sponsoring, selling, and planning. That's exactly why we're having this planning meeting right now, guys. That's exactly why I'm talking about sponsoring. You have to continue to sponsor, and you need to do it today, tomorrow, and for the next 6 months. And then selling, obviously. Okay, so here's a completion aim, 20% of your goal. So do the math and figure out what level it is that you are shooting to earn. You should always shoot high. You should always shoot high. The biggest obstacle that I see in these incentives is the sponsoring. And it's because people don't believe that they can do it, or they're not putting in the work to train themselves on how to sponsor, or they sponsor people and then they don't train them. And if you sponsor somebody and you don't train them, it doesn't do anybody any good. It's not going to help them. It's not going to help anybody. And so then you can see here your activity bonus, certified points, frontline lead and star, promotion points, Grow with the Flow, blah, blah, blah. This one is laid out, I mean, decent. The reason why I made the one that I did is because I want to be super intentional with who and where these certified and frontline leading stars are coming from. I want names. I want to look at them every day, and I want to know if they want to earn the incentive. If they don't want to earn the incentive, bye. And I'm not saying that to be ugly. I'm saying that because if they don't want to earn the incentive, then they just don't want more out of this business. And if they don't want more out of this business, that's fine. You need to find somebody that does. Now, here is another one that was created. So this is the, that's labeled wrong, or maybe this isn't mine. Okay, so this is for newly sponsored people. If they're brand new, you can write their name down here, and then these are the points that you get when they do those things, and you can add that up, okay? Put names to it. Play with the numbers. But this is the thing. You can't expect every single person that joins your team to certify. Don't do it, because that's not realistic, and I hope that happens. I hope that you get every single person that joins you hit certified. But in reality, that doesn't always happen, okay? And then the other one, for some reason, it's labeled wrong up here. But this isn't my document. I saved it from a friend. But it's called previously sponsored up here. So if they are somebody that was already on your team before July, you can earn $250, then $1,000, then $1,000. So that may break it down even more, a little bit more simply for you. Okay. I will repost that folder. Joy, we don't ever hear anymore about join promotions before anybody else does. I'm sorry. I hope y'all can't hear all of that going on in the background. It's like World War III at my house behind this door.
It sounds amazing.
So I just that is the incentive folder that I was just sharing. I shared it in the original post. Anytime I find any other incentive trackers, I will post those. The biggest thing is to just work. If you are working by the 3 legs of success, you're sponsoring, you're selling, and you're coaching, you're going to earn this incentive. If you are trying to earn annual sales and annual mentor, you're going to earn this incentive. That's just the biggest thing that I can say. I have earned every incentive since I joined. I've earned top 100 twice, top 150, top 50. I have earned all of the incentives since I joined. And I say that because I've watched the successful people that I look up to, and I've done what they do. And I do it all year round. I don't just work my business during an incentive period. Last month was the end of Grow with the Flow, and I sponsored 3 people. I was hoping that I wasn't even sponsoring them just for Grow with the Flow. I was sponsoring them because they were buying from me too much. They needed to get paid back on their purchases. So why be selfish? I could be mad that they didn't join August 1st or July 1st, but I'm not, because I know that I'm blessing them, and I know how much this business can bless them. So Tiffany's saying break down level 6. Divide it by 6 and plan it out. Don't forget those paid at rank and those consistency points. Those come in clutch when you're looking for, like, in your 5th month and that 2,500 comes. If you have promotions, you've got to work for it, though. And that's the biggest thing I want you guys to know. Does anybody else want to talk or say anything?
I was just going to say, the way that I've been breaking it down is I just start with my PRV. So I wrote out each month and put a number there that I want to reach for. So I know for me, usually back to school month is a rough month for me. So I put 1,500. So that's not it. I may have to bump it up because as I'm breaking them down, I may have to add some to it. But then I had 2,000 for every other month except for December. I've left December completely off. I actually didn't even plan anything for December because my goal is to try to meet some of these things before even counting for December at all. So if you're trying to plan it out, I would just stick to realistic things before calculating out all the points. Start with your PRV, do that. Then think about your goal for promoting. So I have a goal that possibly this month or in August that I want to promote. So then that's going to bump up my paid at rank points for after that. So I just break it down small first. Don't total it up at first yet. Just break it apart. You can always adjust, and hopefully you'll get more in the beginning so you can adjust it as you go. But I wouldn't get too overwhelmed like looking at the total points right now, and just focus on your business and your goals for that now. Like I know for me, the biggest thing is going to be certifying new people. So I'm going to have to heavy recruit. So even for promoting, I don't really want to promote until I get a ton more frontline. So that's going to be a big thing that I'm pushing right now. I may not see those points in July, and maybe not even in August, but I can plan for them in September, October, November, something like that. I don't know if that helps anybody, but I would just keep it simple and just start with the things that you do know. Everybody knows their PRV goals, and start there. You can always bump that up and adjust it from there. Anyway, hope that helps.
No, I love that, Jen. And I think that that's a really great way to start. So ask yourself, what is if you've been with Scentsy last fall, go look at your fall of last year. Go look at what those months look like. Go look at what your PRV was. Remind yourself of where you were. See if you can set those goals for yourself. Have out a sheet of paper like this and plan it out. And like play with the numbers so you can actually set attainable goals. Because if you just say, okay, well, I'm going to get 2,000 PRV from now to December, but you don't go and plan how many new people you need to sponsor, or you don't plan your, if you just don't plan, you're planning to fail. And that's sort of why I've decided to even have this call, because I'm not the best at like breaking down the numbers. Yes, Anna said print out several copies. Like I've printed out, and now I have a plan. Also, I've done like different colors right here. So these different colors that I've done through there are people who are already on my team that are my frontline, that are maybe already certified or lead consultants. And these are the people that I'm going to reach out to and ask them, do you want more from this business? Do you want to earn this incentive? Does that make sense? So then I am being very specific and intentional. So if I reach out to this girl and she says that she doesn't really want to earn the incentive, she's just a hobbyist, I'm going to take her name off my list, because I'm not going to sit there and try and get this girl to promote to lead if she's just a hobbyist. That's not going to do anybody any good, and it's going to push her from wanting to even be in this business. So it's a very intentional game when it comes to that. But exactly what Anna said, I'm going to break it down that way. And honestly, dividing by 6 is something that's just like, I'm a very concrete person. Dividing it by 6 would be a really bad idea, because you can't just average all of that every single month, because you know that if you've been with us for a while, typically December is just a lower month. But I'm going to say that Scentsy has blown all of those lower months out of the waters, but we just need to be prepared. Does anybody else that's been with us for incentives have any other ideas on how you would break it down and make your plan? I'm literally going to feed my husband to the tigers when I get off this call. All of them are asking for a Baskin right now.
I just want to say, as far as, I'm going to try to explain this, because like in my head I understand it, but I don't know if I can like put it in words. But when I'm like mapping everything out, I sort of set the things that like I really can control, like those goals, a little higher. So like as far as like my PRV, so like I may sponsor 4 people, but I'm not going to like you guys were saying, I'm not going to bank on all 4 of those people getting certified. I'm not going to bank on a promotion. I mean, I'm looking at the promotion chart and thinking, I promoted this spring and that's 8,000 points that I'm not going to get, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that because I'm going to make it up somewhere else. But, as far as like the things that like you really can control, like if you can set those goals high and accomplish those, then everything else will fall into place. And those other points will just be bonus points, if that makes sense. So like, as far as like setting my PRV this month, my goal was 2,000, I think, and I'm well over 2,000 already, and it's only the 7th. So, just the things that you can control, really try to set those goals high, and it will help a lot, helping everything else fall into place. I hope that made sense. It makes sense in my head, but I don't know.
No, that's exactly right. And what I love that Blair said is like her PRV goal this month before like the month started was 2,000. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, well now your goal needs to be 4,500. Your sponsor just challenged you, because if that's where she's at already, don't be this person. And Blair's not this person, but I'm just using this as an example. Don't go sit your ass back and put your feet up because you already reached your PRV goal. I watch people do it every month. They'll be at like 2,000 on the 5th and they're like, I'm Gucci. And then they don't put in any orders for the rest of the month. What the hell are you doing? And I'm sorry, but it makes me really angry because I know they're not taking care of their customers, and you're not going to grow from comfort zones. Because the last 3 months have been my biggest PRV months ever, and we're in a freaking pandemic. I can't ever say that my PRV goal has just been 5,500. I don't like having PRV that high because you only get paid on it once. But I love that Jen came on and said that about the PRV. Like, plan out what you think your PRV is typically, and because we're in an incentive period, push it higher. Push it higher because that's something you can control. And Jess, girl, you already know this whole getting fed to the tigers thing. He's been told numerous times, I ain't got to take you. You better do my mail outs on me. It's a struggle, y'all. So just set yourself up for success by starting now. Just start now. Trust me. Don't be like these people that wait until November and they're like, oh gosh, I could actually earn level 1. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't sit. If your PRV goal was only 1,000 this month, double it. Double it. And your business is going to thank you. Your customers are going to thank you. So just know that we are here. If you start playing with the numbers and you have any other questions, let us know. Once the tracker comes up, I feel like there'll probably be some more questions, because a lot of times the tracker, the way that it's laid out, it'll have like 2 different colors. And so, like we've said before, you may have 25,000 points, but only 1,000 in sponsoring. So it won't say that you're at level 1 yet. Okay. And that's the most important thing. Everything goes into, the only thing that goes in, because this has been a question before, the only thing that goes into sponsoring is promoting that person to certified, promoting that person to lead, and promoting that person to star. Everything else goes into the non-sponsoring points. So when our tracker comes out, it'll be like one color will say sponsoring, one color will say non-sponsoring, and then you'll have a point total, if that makes sense. Yes, Cindy. So Cindy said she realized in November that she could actually earn it. And guys, it happens all the time. Like, I'll be halfway through an incentive period and I'll reach out to somebody and I'm like, hey, you realize you're only like 3,000 points from earning level 1. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's a free trip to Europe. Let's go. So just make sure that you're making a plan. I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over. And, there's some other people who have earned incentives recently, and like the same, like what Anna's saying, she was 2,000 people or 2,000 points short for 2 people. You can't go back in time, which is exactly what I was talking about with the PRV consistency. If you don't have over 1,000 this month, you can't go back in time. So don't be that person. But I am going to get my tiger food ready and going to go plan out the rest of this incentive. And if you guys have any questions, I will be more than happy to help you. Anybody who has earned an incentive, feel free to go on your director's team page and talk about how you earned it in belief and amp each other up and just like do the things. Because I'm here to tell you that I never believed I could earn an incentive. I never believed that I could have went to Europe for free. I never believed that I would definitely not ever believe that I would have earned a top 100 trip. But I just did the things that people told me. And I want every single person that showed up for this call tonight to be on this incentive, because you're taking time with your crazy kids and crazy family and significant other or dogs or cats or whoever to be on here and listen to us. And that means a lot. And I know that your directors and your sponsor also feels that way. And we see you. Do y'all hear that? What in the hell are they doing? Literally. Okay, guys, I love y'all. Have a great night. Pray for my family. See y'all later.